Hello everyone, it's UnkleDestiny here with you. Hope everyone's doing alright as we come to the end of September and move into October. We've recently just had the fall equinox, so now we are in the season of fall. Now, I know during our last reading there was a lot of focus on some sort of energy or force that the spirits were about to unleash upon the world. And at this point, in reflecting on how the month of September has been, and the period just around that time, I would speculate that all of the natural events that have happened, the flooding in Asia, the flooding in Houston and Florida, and the hurricanes that have so stripped some places, the Dominica, and the damage that's been done in Puerto Rico are all part of what the spirits were unleashing. But here's the thing. They weren't unleashing them in a sense of panic or you've done wrong or things of that nature, the very punitive approach, which it's very easy for people to go to. Instead, I would offer you the standpoint of looking at it from the aspect of these are tests that are being put forth to you to see how you do. Much of August was a period of time where we were confronted here in the U.S. with an image of what does it mean to both protest and give in to hate, as well as what does it mean to come together and show the best parts of humanity. And again, same thing here. Where there was probably the worst parts of humanity involved in the situation of the price gouging that happened for people trying to get out of danger's way. Not to mention the issues that are the profiteering that's probably going to come up as places are being rebuilt. I mean, both in the Dominican Republic, Mexico. But also, what does it mean when we rally together and go there to help? To send the help that the people there actually need. Not what we think they need, but what they actually need. This is a big point of what is being tested. Crap has hit the fan. How do you respond to it? This is what the spirit and the ancestors are testing us about. Not because we've made some other decisions, and mind you, there are times that they will react to that. But the biggest one is show us your humanity. Show us the fact that you can be something more than reacting children. People who act out of hate. People who act out of fear. People who can act with humanity and see the similarities in people. And to that end, I would like to say that I like to operate, and then I'll get off my soapbox here and get on with reading. I'd like to say that I am someone who tries to operate from the aspect of what makes us similar as opposed to what makes us different. But just as much as there is that similitude between what it means to exist, there is a similitude of love, and there's a similitude of fear. So if we're going to operate from the place of being similar and being able to see that we each have value, I would much rather operate from the place of seeing love than from fear. Because even though there's a similarities based in fear, how often is it actually building us and bringing us together so that we can stand and support against natural disasters such as these? Fear doesn't do that. It does, and on some levels, keep us safe, but it does not bring us together. Love does. So, I openly say I operate from the place of loving similarities as opposed to fearing similarities. So, let's go ahead and get the ancestors in and see what they have to say. Alright, so we've thrown the bones now, and I want to apologize for any background noise. Sadly, somebody nearby is using a leaf blower. But let's go ahead and get in here on the readings. And as we can see, we've already thrown the bones. Here's the ones that didn't make the reading surface. So, what do we have here? Because we've got a bit of a clustering. And this clustering, it seems jumbled. It seems a bit of a chaotic. But there is focus and purpose. What I actually kind of see here, because I'll start with the overall image, I almost feel like a campfire. Because here's the fire, here's the fire pit with all that going on it, the stones that keep the fire in check, and then the people that are gathered around it, or those just coming in. So there's a sense of communal energy here. There's a sense of drawing together. There's a sense of containment almost. So there's that. Now, for our main bones. So this one is going to be home. This one is going to be work. This one is going to be family. So, starting with our two main ones, home and work, which are crossed and supporting each other. So this is very much going to be about the aspects of how is home and work going to be shifting and supporting each other. And the fact that home is being supported by work. So, I mean, by all intensive purposes, normally we work so that we can be able to provide for our home, which is taking care of, the money, the food that goes in there, shelter for those we love and such, and those that we can support. So there's very much something in this that work is going to be very much having an effect on home and what and how we function with providing that sense. So there might be some aspects where you may have gotten your house refinanced and the approval is coming through for that. Or that, and going back to the earlier talking about the disasters that have happened, you may be having relatives or people that are of your family of choice coming to live with you because, well, you're in a stable place and you can provide that. So it's very much about being able to provide for home. And home is provided not just through what we work through, but what we also put an energy and an intent to. Do we operate from that place of love? Now, the other items that we have around here, because we have a number of the support bones. We have the shell, and this time it has fallen inside, with the inside up. So again, we're looking at the interior or internal aspects of it. And since it's smack dab sitting with the work bone on it, there's going to be a lot of issues around work and your internal process. Feelings about how the work is affecting you, feeling about issues of confidence about how you do work, talking about the aspect of the rewards that come from work, both monetarily, physically, and emotionally. There's a big thing that work is not just about doing an extrinsic value. It's also the intrinsic values that come with it. Not just about self-worth and self-identity, but also that aspect of accomplishment, that we are capable. So it's going to be a lot more about the internal processes that are going on about work and how you sit and deal with the place of that. With the fact that this is fall, there's a sort of aspect of energy needing to slow down and begin to be pulled inward. So there's also that aspect of what are you doing to pace yourself in this period as we now move into a lower energy and move towards a lower energy state, which also supports the aspect of going inside and seeing what is going on for us emotionally around work. All right, so we're going to move down here to the quartz piece. The copper piece. Now this one's just at the edge of the reading surface as well, and I would say that spirit, it's here at the borderline. And like I said earlier, there's a question of what was your decision. Are you going to support and operate from a place of love, or are you going to operate from a place of fear? Are you going to operate from a place that is about the boogeyman that's always in our closet? Because there's always a boogeyman. There's always a relationship. But because there's a relationship with fear. There's a relationship with the dark. Just as much as we always want to be in the light, there are always going to be shadows. And Spirit is here talking about that shadow. Which are you going to do? Are you going to try and shun it away? Or are you going to find a way to incorporate it and recognize it? Because the more you can recognize it and balance it, the more it doesn't become a force that becomes destructive because it's getting attention. So here, and we've got the support bones around it. How are you finding support there? And again, we've got a support bone, this one of the rib bones, going straight from this copper piece over here to the home. So that's bringing in that aspect of home, that aspect of what is Spirit pumping in to the home. And the home is often a place of light, but it can also be a place of shadows. How are we making it so the shadows are comfortable there and not being destructive? They have their place. They have their usage, they have their activities, and it's put to the benefit of the home as opposed to the detriment of the home. All right? So got a lot of support there. Now, over here we have the quartz crystal. And again, memory, the past, the things that we hold in such solidity. And again, we've got a bunch of the bones, a bunch of the support bones, mostly the tail and spinal bone. So a lot about balance. So it's operating from a place with the knowledge of the past as a balancer. Yes, this action may have caused negative outcome, but also this action has caused positive outcome. How can we work in balance with that? How do we have the memory of it? And which memory are we operating from? Are we operating from the place of a balance and with our memories? And not every event is negative. Not every event is wonderful. It is a balancing between the two that make lessons possible. So, balance. There's a lot going on around this aspect of balance. And the fact that it's here near home and work, you've got to balance that aspect of home. You've got to balance that aspect of work. You've got to balance that internal aspects that relate to work. You've got to balance that influence of spirit and both light and shadow that is within. So, and this is the fire that's at the center of the camp that is feeding everything, that is providing that nurturing and energy, that place of safety, that place of community, that place of peace. All of this is going on here. All right? Now, we move to the outer row, which, again, I said this one is family. And we've got a lot more of the support bones around there, and a lot more of that being the aspect of these are the people, these are the things that are being drawn into the fire, that are coming to it for safety. So the support aspect, so there's a support component of what does it mean in family. Now that again, that is family of your choice and the family you were born into. How are you supporting each other, especially, as I've said before, in this time of difficulties that are happening all around the world? And can you begin to see that so many of the people out there that are in those difficulties are in many ways family? Yeah, they may not be a direct bloodline to you, they may not be people that you immediately chose, but they are still of the family of humanity. No matter what race, no matter what background, they are still the family of humanity. And there needs to be inspiration, there needs to be support with that. A lot of time, a lot of stuff going on right now that brings up our least best qualities. And how do we operate from that place of let us have our best qualities? How is it that when we get up in the morning, do we think about, well, what are we going to put out in the world that's positive? And can we do that to our family? And sometimes this most that we can do, even if we can't affect the massive great world like some people want to, we can at least affect those that are closest to us, those that are our family of blood, our family of choice, our family of humanity. To have them have a good day, to have them have just a brief moment of positivity. So, in this next month, how can you and how can all of us work together to come to this fire in support and safety? I got this one. This is one of the ones coming in, and again, this is that support aspect. This is that aspect of connection. This is the one who's coming in. Are they bringing in firewood? Are they bringing in food? Do they need to go run to the bathroom? All of those things are going on here with this one. But there's something else. There's another piece. And once it is, it'll be complete more of the ring that's around the fire. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. And I wish you a pleasant October. And may the spirits and the ancestors come through more for you as we move into this time of the fall. With blessings and ashe. Have a good day.